the situations where a deal came apart, and yet that turned into a great relationship. When I was early on in the business and I wasn't really necessarily working on super high-end jobs, and they weren't all retained CFO searches, say, I had a search that I worked on where it was a difficult search. It was a pre-IPO company. They really needed to find a great corporate controller and help them get through the going public process. And I found them an amazing guy who went through the process, got hired, accepted the job, resigned, and they made the internal announcement that he was coming on board, and they made a bunch of internal moves that he was coming on board, and then ultimately he wound up backing out of the job the Friday before he was supposed to start after a 3-week notice period. So needless to say, my client was not very happy with him or us, when he didn't wind up showing up for work. But when he called me that day to tell me he was turning down the job, okay, he started the conversation with, "You're gonna kill me," which I said, you could never start a conversation that way. But ultimately he told me the reasons why he was not taking the job and why it was the best situation for him career-wise and for his family. And my response was, instead of getting mad at him, instead of being selfish and thinking about myself and how now I'm going to have to make this hard phone call to my client, I basically said, well, have you given this a lot of thought? You've talked to your spouse, it's something that you've decided, we're not changing your mind on? And he said, yeah, I'm going to stay where I'm at. And I basically said, look, I respect your decision, and I wish you luck, and I hope we can stay friends, and that guy today, if I think about where he went, the next job he went to, how many people he hired for me, even though I didn't place him in that job, okay? I was the firm, I was the person he called for every key critical hire he needed to make, because of the way I treated him when he was a candidate, when he was making a hard decision that was potentially making me look bad, right? We still filled that job. That client still did business with us. But what's funny is he's been a client at 2 or 3 different companies along the way. We've been doing business together for 22 years, and actually just placed him on a retained search with a growing company here in town. And so, he was a candidate, then he was a client, now he's a candidate again, right? And these long-term relationships are really what we've built our business on. And I think about stories like that, it's not about me. It's not about StevenDouglas, right? This is somebody's career, right? And we need to really understand that they're going to make decisions that are best for them and their family.